We are live here on Shaggy TV for a little Corn Belt UMP modified action at I-55 Raceway, and man, is it going to be a good one here tonight on Shaggy TV right now. Justin Doherty in the 22. That double deuce, he's got P1 right now in warm-ups. DJ Miller, I was about to say DJ Miller P2, but this guy, William Hess, he's the new P2, man. You gotta love that paint job there for William Hess. DJ Miller now, he gets knocked down to P3. Mason Dangerfield, P4. Michael Lonis, P5. Dustin Reagan, 6th. Brock Moskey, 7th. And Brian Warner Jr., this man, in the 57, rounding out the field tonight in warm-up. Still got about 3 minutes left. Might get some more guys to jump in here. Who knows? Right now, I'll tell you what, we got 8 good ones. And not a lot of time between your fastest guys here. See that gap. Let's show you their actual best times. You see Hess and Miller actually identical with a 15.549. So that is very impressive. Brian Warner Jr. not even, a little over a tenth off the fastest guy, Justin Doherty. That is a competitive field here tonight. And man, it is gonna be some good racing here at Federated Auto Parts Speedway. Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway, excuse me. I always want to say Speedway, but this one is a raceway here, and got these 4 guys out here duking it out, doing a little practice racing. Brock Moskey pulling out of the pits, getting involved here. If you're out there watching, give us a like, hit that subscribe button. Let us know who you're rooting for here tonight. Or even better, play a little Guess the Podium. Can always play Guess the Podium. And, these guys right here, it's gonna be tough. Like I say, these close competitive times. Here, I can we'll change this. So when you're looking at those scoreboards, you're gonna see the lap times change. These are their most recent lap times. This is what they're running right now. So it's not going to be ranked in order. But like Doherty, his last lap at 12.884. Hess with a 12.819. Miller with a 12.807. And Mason Dangerfield, he's out there right now. He's currently in the 7s. Michael Lonis there, he just ran a 7. So we'll have to see what happens here. Oh, okay, so they split Michael Lonis here. He's in his own practice session. So they're doing 7 guys to a room here. iRacing normally breaks it up that way, so he's out here by himself. This is the practice where everything's going on, for sure. The 22, you see him, he's jumping in and out, so hopefully Justin Doherty can get those connection issues figured out here before we go green flag racing. You see the timer there, about 5 seconds here. We're going to be throwing the checkered flag here on warm-ups, and we're going to run into qualifying for the Corn Belt UMP Modified Series. Got 2 more guys just show up here, too, and sign up. Robbie Milburn and Dalton Butcher. They weren't able to put in practice time, so you're not going to see that they were here, but I can see on my information chart that they did show up in time here, did register for the session, so we should have 10 guys here going. And anytime the Butcher and Robbie Milburn show up, there, guys, you got to watch, too, is Michael Lonis right now, first guy out on the track here for On the entrance of turn 1, just really babies that throttle, floats it down. Gonna keep it low and slow in 3 and 4. Let's see what his time looks like. Purple, purple, you know that'll put him at quick time here. Dustin Reagan, 2/10 behind. So we're gonna bring you up those qualifying times here, because they will all float through here on that topper. Right now, Michael Lonis currently quick time. Brian Warner just took over P2. Brian Warner Jr. Let's see here. He's going to run the high side on the entry of 3. Does he pick up any time? He is quicker in Sector 2. What does it look like? He stays P2, though. Right now, Michael Lonis, your pole sitter, 12.69. He got even faster on that final lap. Here comes the Butcher on his 3rd and final lap. Let's see what he does. Going to run the bottom in 1 and 2. Right back down there in 3 and 4. And can he improve? No, he's going to be slower in both sectors, so he's not going to find any time. Mason Dangerfield found some time. Moving up to P3 on the charts. Move on over, Mr. Milburn. Mason Dangerfield improves in his 2nd sector, but was slower in Sector 1. We'll have to see what he can do here. Mason slower in Sector 1 on his final lap. Looking to improve here. He's got to find time. Can't find it. Going to stay P3. Ryan Warner Jr., this man, P2. Michael Lonis with the quick time. Robbie Milburn 4th, and William Hess. This man going to round out the top 5. Dalton Butcher right now looking like he's going to be 6th. Unless he can somehow improve. And not going to improve. Ryan Warner Jr. still out here just putting in a couple laps. Dalton Butcher coming around. He improved in Sector 1. Slower in Sector 2. He's going to stay P6. That's going to be the end of qualifying, and we're going to get ready for heat race number 1 here in the Corn Belt UMP Modifieds. And once we can bring this up, we're waiting for it. There we go. Starting on the pole, the 5 of Michael Lonis into his outside. In the 13, Mason Dangerfield. Inside of row number 2, the 9 of William Heston is outside in the double deuce, Justin Doherty. Running out the field tonight in heat race number 1, we have the 185 of DJ Miller. Here's these guys. We'll get ready to have this pace car pull off. There he goes. We're going to get ready to do a little action here at I-55. See the 22 there, still just a little spotty, blinking in and out. It's going to be tough for him to move through the field that way, as you know, he's not going to get a lot of room. People aren't going to know where he is. Going to go around here one more time, and we'll go green next time by here as they cross the flag stand. Michael Lonis in that 5 machine knows how important it is to start on the front row for a feature, and well, that 5 machine's going to give it his all here to try to win this thing. As pace car is off, we get ready to go racing. Green flag is high, let it fly. Heat race number 1 underway. Michael Lonis with a great jump here. You're watching him race in and out. You see Justin Doherty blinking a little bit there in the back. And he's going to fall to the 185. Just had to pretty much give up on that. There's, you know, the 185. He wants to make quick work of that and get right by him. And speaking of quick work, Michael Lonis just walking out front here, running that bottom. He has got some speed down there, and he is quick right now in that 5. William Hess in the 9, though. He's going to go low, a little lower here in 3 and 4. Going to try to see if he can't make it work. Not a good enough run, as he's got a mirror full of that 13 Mason Dangerfield, as Mason Dangerfield gets a little sideways on entry, trying to straighten it up to get a good corner exit. He dives low in 3 and 4. Mason Dangerfield battling hard here to take P2 as every spot you make here is 2 spots in the feature. But right now, William Hess, I mean, we've seen him win before. He's got a lot of speed. He's gotten into a rhythm here. He's settled down, and he's increased that gap a little bit from Mason, but not able to reel in Michael Lonis. Here's, you see the laps aren't updating. We just realized up top we're going to have to mess around with this, but for now we're going to do a little change here. We're going to go over to this side. Just never mind. It just doesn't want to work, period. But Michael Lonis here, I believe white flag flying this time around. Is Michael Lonis. We're going to go here. We're going to be able to tell for sure. Checkered flag in the air, the 5 of Michael Lonis. Heat race number 1 winner, followed by William Hess, Mason Dangerfield, DJ Miller, and Justin Doherty. And we are going to work on this SDK overlay here. Is not too sure why it doesn't like heat races for me when I use that top overlay. It's something that, you know, somebody with any type of computer smarts whatsoever could probably figure out why, but man, that I do not have. There we go. We got the side grid up. We're going to go back up top here. We're going to see if we can't get this to scroll. Oh. Brian Warner Jr. Is that Scooby-Doo I see on that thing? Hey now. Maybe slap a little Shaggy TV logo on there too, Brian, if you want. I don't mind. We'll give you the grid here for heat race number 2. Starting on the pole, the 57 of Brian Warner Jr. into his outside, the 80 of Robbie Milburn. Inside of row number 2, we've got the Butcher, Dalton Butcher, into his outside, the double 3 of Dustin Reagan. Rounding out the field, we've got the 3 of Brock. Hiccups. Brock Mosky. So hopefully the overlay stays up there, behaves nicely for me, but you know I probably won't be that lucky here. As pace truck is going to get ready to pull in. The green flag is high. It is ready to fly here for heat race number 2. Brian Warner Jr. steps on the loud pedal. Good run into 1 and 2, sends it up on the high side, but Robbie Milburn trying to counter back in that 12 machine. And below him, we got the Butcher trying to cut deep, taking the low side. He's got P3 right now, but he wants a little bit more. Robbie Milburn, though, going to work here, P2, and Squirrely in the back. Dustin Reagan in the 33. He's trying to hang on. Oh, not a new leader yet as Brian Warner Jr. just holds on at the line, but coming out of 1 and 2, they are side by side. Here's Robbie Milburn. Big send. He's going to throw the slider. Brian Warner Jr. counters back, tries to throw a slider of his own, but just not clear. Got a stick on the bottom as they're side by side through 3 and 4. Halfway, 4 to go this time by. Brian Warner Jr. not giving up, just trying to find a way to make it work down here, but man, you're seeing him. He's just got to go as low as he can to that wall. He slides up, they make a little bit of contact. Coming up here with me to the booth. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to zoom back in. The action is too good. Oh, contact with the wall. Gets the left front. He loses it. Oh, tough break. 2 to go here in heat race number 1. And Brian Warner Jr. goes from first to worst here as the white flag is high and it's flying for the 12 of Robbie Milburn. Robbie Milburn trying to get it done here. Wants to start on the outside of the front row here for the feature, and it looks like the checkered flag is high. It's flying. Robbie Milburn is going to be your heat race number 2 winner, followed by Dalton Butcher, Brock Mosky, Brian Warner Jr., and Dustin Reagan. Good win there for Robbie Milburn. Tough break for Brian Warner Jr. See, he got into the inside wall on that slider attempt, and then gets fed a little launch there on the exit and can't hang on to it, goes around. Tough break, but with that, I'm going to mute myself here, take a little drink, water. But I'm going to leave you guys here with the sights and sounds of I-55 Raceway. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Shaggy TV. Stick around. As we are back here on Shaggy TV, and right now this man, the Butcher, Dalton Butcher, at the top of the speed charts. And as soon as I say that, this man, William Hess, here he goes ripping the lip. He's going to take that top time with a 12:87. So right now, William Hess, the guy to beat. Right behind him, the Butcher, and not too far behind those boys, Michael Lonis. There's the field really tight. Gonna have a lot of good racing here. Is actually Robbie Milburn. There he goes. He threw his cards down on the table. The last lap he could complete, he puts down quick time. So gonna be an interesting race here tonight at I-55 Raceway. As soon as we're able to bring up that starting grid, we will do so. And it looks like iRacing wants to let us do it now. As starting on the pole for tonight's 35-lap event here at I-55 Raceway in the UMP Modifieds, Michael Lonis in the 5 is going to start on the inside of the front row. Into his outside in the number 12 machine, it says 80, but we see 12 there on the screen. Robbie Milburn. Inside of row number 2, the 9 of William Hess. Into his outside, the Butcher, Dalton Butcher. Inside of row number 3, we've got the 13 of Mason Dangerfield. Into his outside in the 3, Brock Mosky. Inside of row number 4, the 185 of DJ Miller. Into his outside, the 57 of Brian Warner Jr. Rounding out the field tonight in row number 5, we've got the double deuce of Justin Doherty and the double 3 of Dustin Reagan. So if you're running the same number here on combination, it doesn't seem to be your night. As they're going to start in the back here. And, well, it looks like we got Dustin Reagan. Not sure what's going on there. He was in the wall. Thing looks broken somehow. And he is going to have to pull it in. Tough break for him here. As we may have an early caution right away, but pace car is off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly here. We're going racing, and I imagine we're going to get a quick caution here for Dustin Reagan. And, well, we do. We kind of saw that coming. Not sure what's going on with that 33 ride. There we go. He was able to pit. Let's see if we can go back and see what originally happened here. Let's go with this 33. Yeah, not too sure what happened there. Just slammed on the brakes there in the middle of the corner. So maybe having a little bit of connection issues. Not too sure what's going on there, but we'll get ready to set the field here and go back racing. Not Not too sure if the lights will shut down this time. Looks like they're still on. Not going to go back racing just yet here. The lights will go off this time, I believe. Maybe? Yeah, lights are off on the pace truck, and we'll go back racing here this time. As the 5 of Michael Lonis looks to set a good pace here as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Let's go racing at I-55 Raceway. 10 of the best here. Let's see what they got. Robbie Milburn already in the wall in 1 and 2, but he's able to get a good enough drive off that he can protect P2 for now. Here he goes. He's got his hook set on that leader, Michael Lonis. Michael Lonis taps the wall a little bit. Does that open the door? Not yet. He's got to stay in line. William Hess struggling a little bit, turning the car. He tightens up, opens the bottom for Mason Dangerfield, but right now it just seems as we go back through the pack, I mean, we see a little side-by-side racing back here, but it just seems like the high side is where you want to be. Is right now Michael Lonis, he's got it on lock, but he's got some company. Robbie Milburn clearly has some speed right now, but can't get around the 5 of Michael Lonis, who's in the preferred line, as we've got 30 to go. Plenty of time here as the top 3, they make a little contact. Milburn gets into the wall, then gets a little kiss from Hess, and he's got to get on the binders. He's going to fall back to P3 as William Hess, new guy in P2. He gets in the wall in 1 and 2. He loses his momentum. Robbie Milburn, though, not enough to counter back. As William Hess right now, you see them all, they're pretty much single file, a little battling here in the back. We got Justin Doherty looking here to the bottom in the double deuce, trying to look under DJ Miller in the 185. Right now, DJ Miller putting up a good fight on the bottom here, or on the high side, excuse me. But Justin Doherty not giving up on the inside, as Michael Lonis has checked out over your leader, William Hess. He is up to almost over P2 William Hess. He is almost a second ahead here, as William, ever since getting by Robbie Milburn, has not been able to pull away. Robbie has just kept his sights set on that 9 of William Hess. See cars so smooth on the exit of 3 and 4. That's where they've got to make up their speed here. Because behind these guys, you got the Butcher. He's got a mirror full of Mason Dangerfield. DJ Miller a little ways behind. He's been able to stay ahead of the 22 of Justin Doherty. Justin, though, not giving up on that bottom. You got to think maybe he's just playing a little tire conservation here, hoping for a late caution, and then he can really go at it here in the closing laps. William Hess still doing the dance here in P2. He needs something to change. He needs the car to go away from the 5, or we're going to have a first-time winner here on this Tuesday nights for me. I mean, Michael, he's picked up wins in other series. I mean, countless wins, and just hasn't been able to pick one up on the Tuesday night show, and could be his first one here. Is right now William Hess in the wall, going to open the door for Robbie Milburn. They touch going down the backstretch. Robbie Milburn going to try to get a good drive off 4 as they're side by side at the line. Robbie Milburn, he's going to have to float up. He's going to have to make William Hess uncomfortable. Going to have to really go in and send it low, go for a big-time slider. As you see, not able to get it done on the bottom. Meanwhile, while these guys are racing, they have ticked into that lead from Michael Lonis. It's come down to about 0.6 of a second, so even though these guys are racing hard, they still have been able to gnaw into that lead of Michael Lonis. You got to wonder, is the 5 maybe saving a little something, not trying to go full out? If he's not, he may be in trouble here, because that 9 of William Hess, he was having to play defense, and he still had some speed, but back and forth. Justin Doherty back to the bottom. He's finally able to clear DJ Miller in the 185. He's going to stay on the bottom, though. He likes it down there. Does that double deuce. Robbie Milburn looking back under Hess again for P2. He's found some speed on the bottom of 1 and 2. Now there he goes. He's driving it in lower into 3 and 4. Didn't lose as much time there in the middle. Lost a lot off. Needs to work a little bit on that throttle control on exit. But Robbie, man, if he can hit that again, there he goes. He's found some speed. He's just worried about floating it up. He's got to maintain that pace he's got on the bottom. Not really working as well for him here in 1 and 2 on the bottom, but it's tough up top right now. A thin cushion in 1 and 2. There he goes. Kept it on the bottom. Didn't worry about floating it up. You see side by side, they touch a little bit. No harm, no foul. You got fenders, use them. We're 10 to go. Robbie Milburn just not giving up, trying to make that bottom work. Does he have P2 at the line? Too close to call. Michael Lonis, though, he's got a mirror full of these guys dancing with each other here. They're running out of time to do anything. We've got 8 laps to go here. Other than that first incident, we're flag to flag as these guys have raced their butts off here in the Corn Belt UMP Modifieds. 7 to go as Michael Lonis leads the way, but William Hess hard into the wall in 1 and 2. That opens the door for Robbie Milburn. Robbie Milburn gets it back the same way he lost it. Remember earlier, Milburn with a mistake in 1 and 2. That opened the door for Hess. Hess does the same thing. Milburn back to P2, and Milburn battling for the lead. We have 5 to go at I-55, and we're side by side at the line. You wanted the best, and you got it here. Side by side, Robbie Milburn committed to that bottom. Michael Lonis, he just beat him at the line. 4 to go. Michael Lonis just struggling a little bit on turn 4 exit. That's where Robbie, he's committed to that bottom, and he's made up time here. 3 to go. Oh, baby. Flagman's got 2 sticks in the air 2 more times around. If you got anything, Robbie, you got to throw it now. Michael Lonis trying to protect, going through 3 and 4. White flag in the air. Final time around. Milburn had it at the line. Coming around. The final time going down the backstretch. Robbie Milburn in the preferred line. Going to float it up in front of the 5 of Michael Lonis side by side at the line. Robbie Milburn stills it. Coming out of 4 at I-55 Raceway. Michael Lonis P2. William Hess 3rd. The Butcher P4 and Mason Dangerfield rounding out the top 5. Oh, man. Heartbreak for the 5 of Michael Lonis. Once again, as he just comes up short through 3 and 4 on the final lap. As there is your final finishing order here this evening. Robbie Milburn on the pole, finishing in first place. Michael Lonis 2nd. William Hess 3rd. The Butcher, Dalton Butcher P4. Mason Dangerfield rounding out the top 5. The double deuce of Justin Doherty P6. Brock Mosky 7th. Brian Warner Jr. 8th. DJ Miller 9th. And rounding out the field tonight in the 33, Dustin Reagan. We are going to give these guys a minute or two to catch their breath here. And we will interview your top 3. And, man, William Hess. Good run here tonight. Looked like for a little bit there he might contend for the lead. But after getting in the wall there with a couple laps to go, that pretty much spoiled his story. Well, William Hess, all in all, a good run for that 9 machine. We'll see if he's up here in Discord. And, well, right now it looks like he is in Discord. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to hop in with the man who finished P3. Hey, William, man, all in all, pretty good run. Do you think you had anything for Michael there? If we're actually watching you right now on the broadcast, getting the wall there in 1 and 2. I mean, it looked like you had a lot of speed if you didn't get in the wall there.
Yeah, man. I'm usually used to I-55 being pretty much around the top when it slicks off, so that's just where I felt at home on this race night. We had good momentum, but we didn't have good exit. So we tapped the wall every now and again, but hey, it is what it is. Still happy to be a podium.
Yeah, a podium with this group of guys, man, that says something. It's a hell of a group of guys here. But just talk to us. I mean, what is the problem there with that? Control and exit. Was it just because the cushion was so thin there in 1 and 2, or is it just having a small rear tire and not getting a lot of bite?
I don't know, man. I think I was really just missing the cushion a lot. To be truthful with you, I'd go in try and hit it real good, and I'd end up tapping the wall, and I didn't want iRacing to think I was trying to wall ride or something. So I'd try and get off of it real quick, and we'd lose a lot of speed in corner, but we'd get it off on exit. And I'd say it was probably just driver error, but
Well,
it's definitely a fun track no matter what.
yeah, man. I mean, it definitely is. It should. I mean, Robbie showed there at the end. You could get the bottom to work. I mean, if you hooked it up right, Justin Doherty, he was working the bottom too there throughout the race. But it was just kind of one of those things, man. Tough short track racing. You got to hit your marks, and one mistake can cost you a spot, and it did tonight. But you had a hell of a race car, William. Congrats on the P3, my man. Who you want to thank?
Thank you, buddy. I want to thank King's Machine Service, CF Martin, Rucker Motorsports, Pike Street Lanes, Tolly's Car Care. About it for me, buddy. Michael Lonis for putting up these leagues, and you for broadcasting them as well.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, William. Hell of a job tonight, man. And I really thought you were going to go up there and get that one. You had a lot of speed. You were running him down, but man, just one mistake can cost you. But hell of a run here. Good job on the P3. Looking forward to talking to you again, William.
Thank you. We'll get them next time.
Amen, man. That's the attitude. And that's your P3 finisher here, William Hess. We're going to move up and we're going to go ahead and talk to the man who just got it stolen from him here at the end. Michael Lonis, another heartbreaker here at the end.
Yeah, for sure. I knew them guys were coming. I got wheel damage there about, I think, 10 or 11 to go. Right when they started popping up, I could not get that car to turn early. And yeah, I seen him coming. I probably held up William a little bit, but yeah, it looked like him and Robbie were having a good race behind me, and I stayed to the top. I was gonna try to sneak down on the bottom, but with the damage, I didn't know what it was gonna do. So I figured my best bet was just count the laps, and I guess it was a half a lap too short. But all in all, good night. I literally haven't raced here in a modified in probably a good at least 8 to 10 months, probably longer. But no excuse. No, I know Robbie hasn't either, or Hess, but just I literally sat down and got down in here, and I'm just completely not prepared. But just happy with the night. We qualified really well and won the heat. Put ourselves in a good spot. But yeah, we just missed it a little bit. But good points night. We got a heat win and a qualifying top TQ. So good points night for us, and move on to the next one.
Yeah, and I mean, all in all, in the point series, that's what it's all about. These consistent podium finishes, and at the end of the day, Michael, you keep doing this. You're going to find yourself in the battle at the end, and I mean, hell, one half, like you said, half a lap short tonight. I mean, if this is a 34 lap race, we're talking to you last, but
Yeah,
that's not the way it goes all the time. But a hell of a job here, man. Another P2, man. Who you want to thank?
I got to thank High Point Firearms, BCR Sim Products. There's a lot of them. Ghost Energy, iRacing Dirt Memes, Dice Race Designs, everybody that helps support the iRacing, and people that log in and watch this, and the guys that show up and race with us each week. And thanks for broadcasting. And gotta say thanks to my wife Abby, and try her again Thursday. We got the win last Thursday. See if we can't do. I think it'd be 3 in a row. So go after the win on Thursday, and then we'll be back with, I think, Cedar Lake next week. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, Michael. Hell of a job here, man. Half a lap short, but I keep saying it. It's coming, brother. It's coming.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shout out to Robbie too. He drove a damn good race, and we were side by side. You could have pinched each other, and I put myself in the wall once, but he could have pinched me. He could have he. I thought he was going to do a lot bigger slider than what he did. That's why I kind of cut under him, and he didn't. If you watch it, he left me plenty of room. He was expecting me to stay. So great race by him. Good driving, and like I said, we have a great relationship and respect for each other. And congrats to him on the win, and appreciate him racing me clean. And we'll move on.
Well, great run here, Michael. Looking forward to talking to you again next week, my man.
Thanks, buddy. See ya.
And with that, we're going to step up here. We're going to grab our winner, Robbie Milburn. Robbie, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, gotcha. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yep. I got you, man. Well, hey, talk about the little engine that could, dude. You just, when the guys in front of you there committed to the top, you got to go where they're not. Did you think the bottom was actually going to work? Or was it just kind of, trying desperation and then it started to hook up for you?
Yeah, a little bit of desperation. I was a little frustrated because I checked up for bonus early and got bumped and kind of fell back. And I'm like, I was looking at my times and I was looking at the distance. I'm like, I'm not making any ground at all. And actually, I was looking at my mirror and I saw Dalton down low. I'm like, what the hell is he doing down there? I said, Dalton, is that this? He's like, I don't know. Seems to be working all right. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna try it. So then I just fully committed to the bottom. But really, I think the line was low 1 and 2, and then high 3 and 4. But I could never run high 3 and 4 because there's always a car there. So I just tried to run as close to them as I could, and hopefully I didn't touch them. And then dive back to the bottom in 1 and 2, and eventually it started digging. And I'm like, okay, well this is working. So stayed down there and it ended up paying off late. It was a heck of a race though. My arms were tired as heck.
Yeah, and it's so weird too because we're watching you here, and I mean you can see you got that drive off of 2, but the entrance in 1 was so slick, man. How were you getting through that on the bottom to set yourself up for a good drive off? I mean, were you giving it any gas at all?
No, when I went bottom, it was just kind of just. I'd have to go back and look at my throttle input, but it's barely anything, and then really ease into it because if you look at the bottom, there's like a tacky patch that just goes a straight line out of 1 and 2, and if I get my my right rear into that, it just seemed like it started digging. But going through the slick spot, the first time I went down there, like, oh, this is real slick. So then I just kind of like almost kind of coast through it and wait for it to catch, and then gradually got into it. It wasn't like get down there, get straight and wide open. It was really gradual into the throttle.
Well, Robbie, man, hell of a job here tonight. You got involved with that little hiccup early when you had to check up for Michael, but you didn't let it phase you. You went back to work there at P3 and you plugged away on the bottom. Hell of a job here, man. This is a big win. Those two are not easy to beat in these things. You got to feel good, man. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, and I'm not real comfortable in these. I'm more of a late model guy, and I joked in the chat. I just spent 2 hours running off-road trucks, and then I'm like, oh, that's starting, and hopped in here, and I'm like, oh, I'm in here trying to shift through the gears. I'm like, oh, we only got 1 gear. But anyway, yeah, of course, Loner's putting it on, letting me run it. All the guys for showing up. Dalton for showing me where there might be a line. You for broadcasting it. Big fan of your broadcasts. Just overall good night. Second win in 2 nights. Won a 100 lapper at Lucas last night. So let's hope I can keep this little league streak alive.
Yeah, man. Amen. You're always one of the guys. I said you got in there. You didn't even get practice time, did you? You were one of the ones who jumped in right at the end, right?
I got in, and there was like 10 seconds left in practice, so I was able to drive onto the track, and then it ended. So I didn't get a turn in.
I thought so. You go back and watch this, man. I said it didn't matter that you didn't get a lap in, that you were still going to be one of the guys to beat. And well, I appreciate you not making me look like a complete idiot here on the broadcast. Way to get it done, Robbie. Big win for you, man. And hopefully you can carry this momentum into next week, man. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I told Lonis at the start, like it's tough for me to make this because it's right when my wife gets home from the gym, and we usually watch TV and stuff. But I was able to hop on the night, and I usually like this track. I usually like beating the wall down, but I mean, I'll take a win however I can get it. And I appreciate you saying I'll be one of the beats because sometimes I drive over my head.
Oh, hey, man. All the best do sometimes. You know, you got to be willing to drive on the edge if you want to be good. And every now and then you're going to make a mistake. But great job tonight. You made the obviously unpreferred line work as everybody was ripping the top. Hell of a job, Robbie. Good win, man.
Thanks, man. And good race to Lonis, too. That was a hell of a run.
Well, congratulations to the winner here tonight. That's going to do it here for us on Shaggy TV. Big win for Robbie Milburn. Tough break for Michael Lonis as he suffers heartbreak once again here. Loses the lead. Coming out of 4 on the last lap to this man in that 12 ride. Robbie Milburn, the Parkersburg, West Virginia native, does it again. Thank you for tuning in here tonight for the Corn Belt UMP Modified Series. Once again, I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tune in every Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern, for more UMP Modified action. Have a good evening.